Hey everyone, it's Nicole, and in the spirit of Halloween, we have some super creepy Halloween facts. Okay, so right now we're going to check out the name Halloween, which means All Hallows Eve, or the night before All Hallows Mass, All Saints, or All Souls Day, which is observed on November 1st. Here's another creepy story that helps emphasize why people think that Halloween is such a dark and spooky day. It was thought that on November 1st, the disembodied spirits from the people who had died the preceding year were looking for bodies to possess for the next year, almost being the only hope for the afterlife. The Celts believed that the laws of space and time didn't exist on this day, so this was the only time that the spirit world can intermingle with the living. Naturally, the living didn't want to be possessed, so the townspeople on October 31st put out all the fires in their homes, making it cold and undesirable. Then they would dress up in silly costumes and parade around obnoxiously throughout the towns, trying to scare away the evil spirits so they wouldn't get possessed. Another interesting fact having to do with Halloween is the custom of trick-or-treating. Now, this didn't originate from the Irish Celts like the other custom. Instead, it originated in the 9th century in Europe. Now, the Europeans actually called this souling. And what would happen was on November 2nd, early Christians would go from house to house asking for soul cake. Now, the soul cake was made out of these little bread squares with currants on them. And what would happen was the more soul cake that the Christians received, the more prayer that the donors would receive for their dead relatives or whoever that they wanted them to pray for, because it was thought that the spirits remained in limbo and needed help to get to heaven. And this would happen through prayer. So, why is another reason why we wear Halloween costumes today? Well, in the old days, the evening of Halloween, people would leave food on their doorstep to give to the hungry spirits, and this would kind of prevent the spirits from entering their home. Then, festival goers were actually dress up in ghost, witches, and ghoul costumes and dance around trying to scare away those spirits. And to this day, those are still some of our most popular costumes. Ever wonder why we carve faces into pumpkins? Well, the whole jack-o'-lantern custom probably started from this Irish folktale. And the folktale goes like this. There was a man named Jack, and he was a bit of a drunk and a trickster. Well, one night he actually tricked Satan into climbing up a tree. Then Jack actually carved a cross in the trunk of the tree, trapping Satan in it. So then Jack decided to make a deal with the devil. He agreed to help Satan come down from the tree if he promised not to tempt him anymore. So then, as the folklore continues, Jack eventually died. But he wasn't allowed access into heaven because of all of his evil ways. But he also wasn't allowed access into hell because obviously he tricked Satan. So what the devil decided to do was he gave him this little ember just to light his way through the darkness. But what he did was he stuck it inside a hollowed out turnip so that keeps the light going longer. The Irish used turnips as Jack's lanterns originally, but when immigrants came to America, they found pumpkins to be much more plentiful, so then they decided to use the pumpkins as the famous jack-o'-lantern. More interesting facts about Halloween has to do with witches. Now, the word witch actually comes from the Saxon word Wicca, which means wise one. And witches, they were actually thought to be wise enough to be able to see the future. Another fun fact, the vampire bat, which actually doesn't even come from Transylvania. They actually originate in Central and South America, and even then, they feed on horses, cattle, and kinds of livestock. Halloween was brought to North America from European immigrants. What they would do is they would celebrate the harvest around a bonfire, telling ghost stories, singing, dancing, and all kinds of stuff like that. Orange and black are Halloween colors because orange is associated with the fall harvest and black is associated with darkness and death. What color is your pumpkin? Well, did you know that they don't only come in orange? They actually come in white, blue, and green. Are you one of those people that on Halloween you celebrate by sticking your head in a tub of water hoping to pull out an apple? Well, this is why you do that. Bobbing for apples was actually thought to originate from the Roman Harvest Festival, and the festival actually celebrated Pomona, who was actually the goddess of the fruit tree. Black cats are obviously a big part of Halloween, but why? Having something to do with witches, right? Black cats were once thought to be witches' familiars, protecting their powers. Something you need to know on Halloween. Signs of a werewolf, unibrow, hairy palms, and a long middle finger. So what is a vampire? Well, it's a mythical being, keyword mythical being, that defies death by sucking the blood of humans. Well, in 1962, the Count Dracula Society was formed, and to this day, there are still different vampire clubs and societies with people in them claiming to be real vampires. Here's a bittersweet fun fact. If you see a spider on Halloween, it's the spirit of a loved one watching over you. All right, so fun movie fact, yay! The movie Halloween was made in 21 days in 1978 on a very limited budget. Now, the movie obviously takes place on Halloween, but it was made in the spring with fake fall leaves. Now, the mask that Michael Myers wears in the movie was literally William Shatner's mask, and they just painted it white. Also, the main character, Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, her character was actually inspired by John Carpenter's ex-girlfriend. Also, one more fun fact. The setting for Halloween actually takes place in Illinois, but if you look carefully, all of the license plates in the movie say California. In a future video, facts about pumpkins. Feeling a little bit morbid? In another video, facts about death. Thanks for watching my video. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, write them below. Otherwise, if you want to see me again, hit subscribe. Stop staring at me, because you know that doesn't work for me. You know that doesn't work for me. Well, stop staring at me. Calculus believe. Laws of space and time are suspended during this time, allowing spirit world to inner world living. Okay. Stop, it's not funny. Thank you for watching, everyone. It was great to see you guys. Rank my video. No, I don't like that. Okay. Okay.